Hi everybody, welcome back to World History. So we're starting chapter 16 today, which is on absolutism. We'll do section 1 today. So go ahead and get your notes out and let's get started. So first off, let me situate my little bubble right here. I guess it's probably going to be the best spot to put it. So Charles V is going to inherit the throne. And in 1516, Ferdinand and Isabella's grandson, Charles I, is going to become king. Remember, we talked about Ferdinand and Isabella in chapter 14 when we talked about Columbus. By 1519, Charles I's other grandfather is going to die, and he's also going to inherit the Habsburg Empire, which included the Holy Roman Empire and the Netherlands. He then took the name of Charles V. Now, Charles is going to be in constant warfare because he was a dedicated Catholic. He faced a major challenge of fighting war to suppress Protestantism. It's important to note this Charles V we're talking about is the same one from, if you think back to chapter 13, that declared Martin Luther an outlaw. We're talking about the same guy here. After years of conflict, he was forced to let others practice their own beliefs, and eventually the Habsburg Empire is going to become too big to rule for one man. So Charles V is going to give up his titles due to a mental breakdown and enter a monastery in 1556, going there and spending the rest of his life as a monk. So Philip II is then going to take over and be given Spain, the Netherlands, and Spain's overseas areas by his father, Charles V, and he'll be in power for the next 42 years. He did expand Spanish influence and strengthen the Catholic Church. He made his own power absolute, so he became one of the first absolute monarchs. Take a minute, if you don't know what that is, to go ahead and pause the video, Google what an absolute monarch is, and then come back, and I'll explain it a little bit as well. All right, hopefully you did pause it and went and Googled it. An absolute monarch is a person that has complete control over a country. There's no other form of legislature to check what they're doing. It is all them. Now, he's going to devote most of his time to government work because he's the absolute monarch of this empire. He has to focus on that sort of thing. So I need to move my bubble here once again. Whoop, sorry about that. Now, eventually, Philip is going to make every part of the government responsible to him, and he reigned as an absolute monarch with the complete authority. He also stated that he ruled by divine right. Remember, we've talked about that idea before. Divine right is the authority to rule to come directly from God, and he saw himself as the guardian of the Roman Catholic Church. He felt his overall goal as king was to defend Catholicism against Protestant Reformation, and he wanted religious unity, so he turned the Spanish Inquisition against the Protestants. Remember, we've also talked about the Spanish Inquisition previously as well. Now, while this is all going on, he's also going to have to deal with some exterior issues. The Ottoman Empire, based in what is now modern-day Turkey, will pose a constant threat to Spain and the Mediterranean region, and this is going to increase to the point that it goes to war. In 1571, at the Battle of Lepanto, Spain is going to defeat the Ottomans off the coast of Greece very easily, and this battle is going to show how powerful Spain had become by defeating the Ottomans, who were one of the biggest powers at the time. But that's not the only battles he's going to have to face. He's also going to battle rebels in the Netherlands during the second half of his reign. And he's going to fight for land in Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. This was the richest part of Philip's empire, so he really didn't want to lose it. Protestants are also going to resist Philip's power, and Catholics resisted high taxes. So realistically, Philip never caught a break. He was dealing with people trying to break away, his own people not wanting to follow what he was saying. As a whole, it turned into kind of a bit of a mess. And at that point, he then decided to turn his attention to England and go up against Queen Elizabeth as his major Protestant enemy. Now, Elizabeth, the Queen of England, we've talked about her, supported the Dutch against Spain. And he prepared a huge armada to carry a Spanish invasion against England. comprising of 130 ships, 20,000 men, and 2,400 pieces of artillery. Spain was very confident, but in the English Channel, given geography, the large Spanish ships were completely outmaneuvered by lighter, faster English ships and destroyed. So by the 1600s, Spain's power and prosperity is going to decline. With the defeat of the Spanish Armada by the English and Philip II's successors being far less capable than he was to rule, this is really going to be the moment of downfall for the Spanish. Throw on top of that some costly wars. The previous expulsion of Muslims and Jews from Spain deprived the economy of many skilled artisans and merchants, and the gold and silver being brought back from the Americas caused massive inflation, causing the Spanish economy to collapse. So really when we talk about it, 1550 to 1650 is going to be Spain's golden age, with Philip II being a huge patron of the arts and literature. This century is also going to produce several famous Spanish writers and painters. In terms of writers, we have people like Miguel de Cervantes, who primarily wrote comedy, and one of his most famous works being Don Quixote, which pokes fun at medieval tales of chivalry. You also have Lope de Vega, who was also a comedy and romance writing as well. And you also have painters like El Greco, who is a master of Spanish painting and religious pictures. Really, like I said, this is the golden age of Spanish culture. This is really where we see a lot of their most famous art and literature being created. So that's actually going to be it for notes for today. Your assignment is to complete the Chapter 16 map. I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.